So it's nightly walking time to help alleviate anxiety, especially after having another flashback and a very bad panic attack. But it's seen as you're just, your behavior is unacceptable. Yeah, behavior that is unacceptable is raping children by judicial officers and them throwing gas mask riot gears on those kids and drugging them, which is a felony, raping them, then locking them into a system that they created, forcing them to do child porn against their will, making them work their asses off for food and shelter. That's the fucking definition of human trafficking. For the sick pieces of shit to claim they didn't even have responsibility for the medical expenses, that's pretty fucking disgusting. All the while, people so fucking strung out, like Colin, claiming she gave birth to me because she wanted God to bring her back as a dairy cow, and Kitten Pumpelly put a little one in her for child support. And that's the goddamn support system and society I had. And Chelsea, want to go over to the cabin? Not really. Not really, to be perfectly honest. So, as if I don't feel guilty enough being alive when I've lost how many people to situations I talk about all the time. My own goddamn mother calling me a liar about being raped. Men don't get raped. You're just as sick as Mr. Boggs' fucking department. Look, church is in session. Watch me go spread my message. So if you think you're gonna fucking shut me up so goddamn easily, you're sadly mistaken. Hallelujah. Man, they have a heavy crowd tonight. Heavy crowd. They might think twice before picking on the poor gay disabled kid. Man, they must have a pretty good congregation. Oh, and they hold theirs on Tuesdays. We used to as well. And then we'd go for a different church. Or go to a different church on Wednesday night services. There are some churches that have their services on Saturday nights. Which is why I used to always joke, no, Your Honor, all of us were in church Saturday night, downtown. Date rape doesn't make for a good service, though. So, that joke became no longer funny. Like I said, it became very clear to me, as if dizziness isn't a problem anyway. It became very clear to me that this matter was not going to be handled appropriately, because they did not want to see this matter handled appropriately. Why? Well, look at who all's involved with medical covering their sorry asses. So you can start with Kelly Moss, Mary McBrayer, Cindy Spence, several others with Comprehend, Nancy Gutman. That's not some issuing some threat. Those are the first people that should be questioned. Don't forget Peter Egan, wherever he is now. Oh, and the Rosses. Both Bob and Sean. Probably wouldn't hurt to question Miss Debbie Weber either. Mr. and Mrs. Phil Weber. Probably wouldn't hurt to question Debbie. Also now with Malibu Barbie and Primary Plus. How convenient. So forgive me if I can put the pattern together that law enforcement were involved in some truly illegal, shady shit. I don't think producing child porn is covered under otherwise illegal activity, or, you know, CIs being allowed to do this, that, and the other under otherwise illegal activity. Clean up to, Comprehend, covering their shit. Primary Plus contracting with Comprehend for medical care, or mental health care, before Debbie Weber joined their ranks. Then again, the family members and law enforcement who have seen Mrs. Weber for mental health care, as I stated, she should be questioned as well. Not to mention her daughter, you know, being at the date rape locations at times. As I stated, Deborah Weber should be questioned as well. Brad and Chelsea, too. So, that bludgeoning, leaving me to the point that I pretty much have to remind myself to breathe. Thanks a fucking lot for claiming absolutely no responsibility for that. All the while allowing my sick piece of shit family who molested and pimped me out for more drugs and alcohol to have their say. I'm not surprised in the least. Just like with Scott Swearingen, Myron Flower, and Dale Anderson, their ties to Hamilton County, heroin, and the goddamn human trafficking as well. I don't get paid to do my job. Why? It would be unethical. So, when kids are involved, especially people like me left in a mental state that is not exactly, you know, I might be 36 years old physically. I might not act like a complete child. It left its own set of damage. Oh, and there's the Cadillac crew. And they talk about my driving habits. He literally just almost ran over me. Man, I wonder if that's a bug bite or a blood clot. That sounded like the snapping of a gun. Oh well. Oh well. So thank you all for putting me through hell and enjoying doing so. I didn't feel persecuted by it. I was appalled and disgusted by it. In this day and age, it was nothing. Parents trying to get rid of their gay children because they didn't believe in it. From molestation to the child finally saying no, them getting pissed off and becoming physically, psychologically, and more sexually abusive, poisoning me with things like almond-flavored powder, bleach, and diesel fuel. But you know, the Kentucky State Police labeled all of that. The Kentucky State Police labeled all of that unintentional because they were also involved in my childhood rape cases. And as I said, there is quite a large congregation tonight.